got to do is to get a sign writer in. That thing above the door will have to be changed.
It's funny having my name over my own shop. Florrie Linley, licensed...
Florence, you mean?
Hey?
Well, that's your real name, isn't it?
Oh, yes, but nobody ever uses it. Come to that, I've got another one, too.
That'll have to go up outside, then.
Whatever for?
Well, it's the law.
Florence Lena Lindley. Sounds like an embrocation.
The patent medicine man calls Thursday. Now, you'll have to watch him. He could sell sand to the Arabs.
I'll remember that. There's more to it than you'd think, isn't there?
Oh, you'll soon get into the way of it. Whatever are you doing that for?
Well, I thought it might encourage folk to buy.
Oh, well, of course, it's up to you now, but it's always been my experience they come in here with their minds ready made up.
Well, I think it's worth a try. The governor at the Farrier's Arms, he always said that when we hung peanuts up behind the bar, they went twice as quick. If we waited till folks asked for them, they'd have gone bad on us.
I wonder you never fancied a pub of your own. I was very surprised when our Sheila told me you were first interested in this.
You wouldn't get me in no pub of my own. No, a little business like this is just up my street. Just what I've been looking for. Mrs. Lappin, I do appreciate you staying on while I get in the run of things. You know how it is when you come to a new street. You don't know anyone or what to look out for.
Oh, Coronation Street's all right. Mind, there's some you'll have to watch.
What happens if they ask me for tip?
I used to have a notice up there. Please do not ask for credit, as a refusal often offends.
Where's it gone?
They asked just the same. So I took it down. It's in the back. No, a bit on the slate's not a bad thing. If you didn't let some of them have it, they wouldn't spend nearly as much. Mind you, you'll have to choose your customers. Now, for a start, the tanner's at number 11. If you'll take my advice, you won't let them go a penny over 10 bob. If you do, you won't see sight nor sound of them from one week's end to the other.
The tanner's of number 11, I remember that.
Oh, hello, Linda. Not gone back then yet?
I brought you some empties. Oh, and I want a quarter boiled ham.
You've not met Mrs. Lindley, have you? This is Linda Cheveski. She married a Pole. Linda Tanner that was.
Hello.
How's your mother, love?
Oh, she's not too bad now, thanks. The back's getting...
Come on, Dennis Tanner, where is it?
Where's what?
Don't come innocent with me, you know as well as I do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
2 bob gone out of my purse, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, what are you looking at me for? It's nothing to do with me.
Oh, and I suppose some Mayfair cat burglar called in and nicked it.
Funny, yeah?
Now, look, let's get this straight. Not an hour ago, you asked me for 2 bob for cigarettes.
And you wouldn't give it me, we know.
So you stuck to going in a lady's handbag.
Just listen it. A lady, is that what you crack on you are these days?
Fine son you are. That tongue of yours will get you on one of these days.
Oh, give over. Luke, you've lost 2 bob. I don't know where it is. What am I supposed to do about it?
Get work. That's what you're supposed to do about it.
Change record, will you?
Did you go down to the Labour today?
I'm not due till tomorrow.
You know what your trouble is, don't you? You just don't want work. Did you bother to look through the adverts in the newspapers?
What papers? We only get the one in the morning. There's nothing in that, you know there isn't.
Oh, you could have gone down to the reading room, couldn't you? Here am I, working myself to death, and you can't even stir yourself to go and look through a newspaper.
What sort of job would they have for me?
There's plenty of jobs for them that take the trouble to look for them.
Yeah, and they ask you what experience you've had.
Well, you've had experience.
Not the right kind, though. Just drop it.
No, I won't. It's the same every time.
Luke! You know as well as I do why I can't get a job.
Been out of that place 7 weeks now.
Oh, don't. Let's wrap it up. If you mean prison, say it. Everyone else does.
You can't go on like this.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Just tell me that.
Oh, why had it to be me that I'd have a son like you?
Suppose you'd rather have me like Kenneth Barlow at number 3.
And what's wrong with him? Let me tell you something. He'll have no trouble getting a job because he's got it up here in the upper story, and that's where it counts. I sometimes wish we were more like them Barlows. At least they're not rowing all the time.
Sauce, can you?
No, no, thank you.
Oh, but I got it specially. You always loved it when you was little.
Did I?
What's up?
Nothing.
What's that snooty expression for, then?
Well, what's snooty expression?
That new pullover's turned out a treat. Mind you, I'll not knit you another one in that colour, though. Navy blue plays the devil with my eyes.
Oh, no.
Don't they do this at college, then? I bet they don't eat in the shirt sleeves, either.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, I've been noticing you looking at me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. We're not good enough for
Look, I
you.
never said a word and he starts.
Look, Dad, can't we have 1 meal in peace for a change?
Now, you know he doesn't like to hear you call me Dad. It's common.
Oh, give over the pair of you. My back's at it again, something awful.
That's what comes of doing that rotten job of yours. I bet you don't tell your high and mighty pals that, eh, Ken?
What?
Where your mother works.
Well, it's no secret. She worked in a hotel kitchen. If anyone asked me, of course I'd tell them.
What's got into you, Frank? You're edgy enough for 6. What's up with you then?
Go on, blame me. I would. It's him. Why do we have to have the bread ready buttered?
Hey?
Well, he said that yesterday. And then again tonight. Why do we have to have cups of tea with our food? Well, I'll tell you for why. I like my food swilled down properly, that's why. You better watch out, Ida. He'll be having you change into evening gown to eat your meals next.
Oh. Look at that clock. Wherever can David have got to? Did you go into town this afternoon?
Yes. Oh, I got a record.
One I'd like.
You might, I'm not sure.
Oh, well, you know me. I've always been one for a bit of good music. We'll put it on when we've washed up and your dad's had his sleep. Oh, if David doesn't hurry, that chop of his will have gone bone dry in the oven.
Oh, by the way, I should be going out later on.
Oh, are you meeting a girl?
Yes.
Oh.
It's just a girl who's in my year.
The one you had the letter from this morning? Does she come from round here?
Not far away, other side of town.
Will you be going over to their place then?
No, just into town.
Whereabouts are you meeting her?
The Imperial.
Oh.
Where?
The Imperial Hotel.
Now, listen here, Squire. You'd best make up your mind to it, because you're not going throwing no money away at no Imperial Hotel.
What do you mean, no Imperial Hotel?
I mean what I'm saying. Don't you come correcting me.
Look, I'm not asking you for any money.
Oh, yes, you've got the money, but where did it come from?
Frank, do we have to go through all
Now,
this?
look, Ida, I'm not having you working in those stinking kitchens at the Imperial for him to go chucking money back at places that are big growing trees. It's downright wicked, that's what it is.
Well, he won't be going spending much, will you, love?
You can make up your mind to it, Ken. You're not going at all.
Hello, Ma.
And what time do you call this?
Yeah, I've had another puncture.
Hey, which one this time?
Front. Thought it was just the valve at first.
Well, the sooner you get shut of that old ruin, the better. Why, thing's only fit for scrapyard.
Oh, don't worry. That's just where it's going the minute I've got enough for a deposit.
Deposit? What on?
What do you think on? A motorbike, of course.
Over my dead body.
Is it raining?
Well, it was a minute or two ago. Just stopped.
Oh, well, I'll go and have a look at this bike of yours.
Oh, it's all right, Dad. I'll see to it.
Where's your puncture outfit?
Well, it's in my saddlebag, but I told you I'll see to it. How are you?
All right.
Do you want gravy?
I wouldn't mind.
Well, you'll have to wait while I warm it up then.
Something up, Ken?
Oh, no, just had a bit of a set, too.
What about this time?
Well, let out I'm supposed to meet the girl at the Imperial Hotel.
Oh, like.
You can imagine what that started.
Hello, love.
Hello, Mrs. Walker.
You do look happy.
Oh, can I try cigarettes?
Bess?
Please.
Evening.
Half a mile. And how's our local genius, then?
All right.
I've not seen your name in paper recently. Haven't you been winning any more scholarships? It's all right for some.
What are you up to these days?
Damn all.
Do you mind them in 10?
Oh, that'll be all right.
That'll be 4 and a penny. Here's your mild.
Hang on. It's here somewhere.
I'll have 20 fags too.
That'll be 4 and 7pence halfpenny altogether.
That's for mile. I'll give you about 6 another time.
I'm afraid you won't.
What's up? Don't you trust me or something?
That's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's the rule of the house.
Rule of the house.
Here.
Tar? Well, it's government's money, really, isn't it? See ya.
Whatever did you want to do that for? You don't want to go wasting your sympathy on him. It's Elsie I'm sorry for. Ooh, some mothers do have them.
Hey, Elsie. Just about ready for the knacker yard.
Hey, go on, get up.
Did you say Christine Farrer? Where did I see your mother? Kids. I'm sick to death of them clattering about in my back in.
There's nowhere else for them to play.
Well, the council should do something about it.
Wouldn't go saying that too loud if I were you. They might turn this into a play street, and then where'd you be? Oh, there's your hand.
Oh, how much do I owe you?
Nothing.
Oh, don't be so daft. Where's my purse?
No, I mean it. You don't owe me anything. I took 2 bob out your purse before I went.
Oh, well.
What's wrong?
Talk about give a dog a bad name. I have just wrongly accused your little brother. And you're a bit of a madam, you know. Fancy going in my purse without as much as a by your leave.
I didn't have any change. I didn't want to go breaking into a note.
Well, you could have asked her to write it down, couldn't
It was
you?
a new woman I didn't like. Oh, Ma'am, if that's how you feel about it, I'll give you 2 bob.
Oh, give over. Oh, Linda. I don't know what we're going to do.
What about? Our kid? How much has he done about getting a job? I mean, has he been at prisoner's aid yet?
You know, 3 of us can't manage on what I earn.
What do you mean, 3 of us? I'm only here for the week.
Are you?
Well, yes.
Come on. Out with it. You've left him, haven't you?
I suppose I have, really.
Well, why?
So just didn't like being called Mrs. Chevesky. How'd you find out?
I didn't. I just guessed. Well, what happened?
He had a bust-up.
Well, what over?
Oh, I don't know. We've had that many recently, we never stop having them. He's that moody.
Oh, well, foreigners are. Are you sure that's all it is?
That's all.
You haven't been doing anything you shouldn't, have you?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, you're not a kid anymore. It's no secret round here why your dad left me.
Well, it's me that's done the leaving this time. I've left Ivan. I'm not going back
And
now.
what are you going to do?
Get a job, I suppose.
Oh, and where will you live?
I can't go back, Ma'am, I can't. You don't know what he's like when he gets one of his moods on him. You're frightened what he might do.
Are you really set on this? Oh, well. You know you're welcome here if you want to stay. But try and get on a bit with our Dennis. For all I go at him, he's not had it easy, you know. What about your clothes? Did you bring your things?
Most of them.
Oh, now we know what that dirty great suitcase was in here of. You'll have to get a job, you know that, don't you?
Anything going at your place?
Not in our department. A couple of girls left in millinery the other day. I'll look into that tomorrow. Well, I suppose we have to be grateful for small mercies. At least the ham's not off.
Ma'am,
What?
shall I go blonde?
Well, why ask me? If you want to go blonde, you'll go blonde. You know that.
Ivan nearly went mad when he found a bottle of peroxide I'd brought in. I wouldn't care, but it would only to take a mark off my front tooth. You might not know it, but he's very narrow-minded.
I seem to have heard you say that before.
When those new short skirts first come in, I had to take mine up inch by inch on sly.
Why?
So as he wouldn't know. He said he didn't want fellas staring at my legs.
Well, they're nothing all that marvellous.
What do you mean?
Well, your legs. I'm afraid you've the Tanner side of the family to thank for that. You know, without a word of a lie, your Grandma Tanner was that bandy she couldn't have stopped a pig in an entry.
Well, I'm not bandy. Hey, am I?
Oh, you flip.
No, seriously.
Oh, I've told you.
I think there will be a job at your place.
Well, there won't be anything permanent, but they're bound to be looking for staff for Christmas.
What do I do after Christmas?
Well, you've had time to think things out by then.
You think I'll go back to him, don't you?
Well, you've been back to him before. We have been all through this before, you know.
That's all you know.
All I know is that 3 months after you were married, you came flying back here with all your bedding, a flight of plaster ducks, and a brass companion set. That's all I know.
It's different this time.
Oh, yes, I see.
No, it is, honest.
All right, shut up. I'm trying to have a bit of a read.
Ma'am,
What?
nothing doesn't matter.
Well, what?
Nothing. You get on with your reading. It said it doesn't matter.
What do you think to that new woman?
One at shop. Didn't seem to have much to say for herself.
Whatever made you think of retiring to North End? It's a bit bleak there, isn't it?
Oh, you wouldn't say that if you saw the residential part. It's the last word. And then another thing, the property is architect designed.
Me, I never could take to a bungalow.
How do you mean?
Well, not going upstairs to bed. Seems all wrong somehow. Still, I'll bet it set you back a bob or two just the same.
No one can say that I haven't worked for it. Have you brought any tea with you?
Oh, no, I used the last this morning. It seemed daft by Mo when I was coming to old shop full.
Well, pass us a packet and I'll go and put kettle on. You'll be all right on your own. They won't eat you, you know.
I'm Mrs. Sharples.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
I'm a neighbour.
Oh,
You're a widow woman.
well, yes.
I thought so. I'm the caretaker at the Bad Tidings Hall.
Oh, that's just across the street, isn't it?
What's your place of worship?
I don't really do much about it.
Oh, I know. C of E.
Oh, I wouldn't say I
Oh,
was
it's like my
anything, really.
sister's husband. You know, he was made head of the plumbing where they live, and it give her ideas. She said we're civic dignitaries now. We must head for church. Within a week, they were received, christened, and confirmed. Within a fortnight, she was sitting up all night, sewing surplices. I'll take a packet of baking powder. Where you being buried?
I don't know that I've given it much thought.
Oh, but you should. Think on you don't go to that crematorium down the road. While coffins rolling away, they play Moonlight and Roses. Oh, I spoke to the superintendent particular. He said Moonlight and Roses. That's not Moonlight and Roses, that's Andantina. I said, well, Andantina or no Andantina, I'm rolling away to Crimond. Are them fancies today's?
Yes.
I'll take half a dozen and no eclairs. No eclairs. Oh, you're from Esmeralda Street, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Thought so. And weren't you on the bar at the ferry for donkey's years?
I was there a tidy while.
Got any kids?
No,
Oh,
I haven't.
you're better off without them. A bottle of bleach. They're more bother than they're worth. Esmeralda Street, eh? Very bay windy down there, aren't they? Oh, well, you find it very different up here. There's some very funny people in this street. You come across a Mrs. Tanner yet?
I can't say I have.
You will. You want to watch her? She's a bad un. Oh, while I think on, you owe me an egg.
Eh?
One of them I had this morning was off.
You should have brought it back.
Brought it back? I told a pot towel to my nose before I could so much as take it to my back in. And if my word's not good enough, you're quite welcome. Come smell at my dustbin.
The
Yeah.
other things will be 3 and 4pence.
I'll put 'em on slate. You don't need to worry. I'm not thinking of running away.
She morbid.
Aye, well, it's not the valve for sure.
I told you that.
Ah, where's your pump?
It's at work.
Oh, what good do you think it's doing there?
Well, you know what they're like there, Dad. You can't leave a thing lying around and knock it off. I've had to hide it. Oh, I better get this tyre off.
Aye.
I'll go and get a couple of spoons.
Oh, has our Ken said anything to you? About going out tonight, I mean?
Yeah.
Imperial Hotel. That lad's got the trick of the devil.
Well, it's his own life, isn't it?
Go on, that's right. Go on, gang up on me, as per usual.
Here, hold on, I'll nip up the road and try to borrow a pump.
All right.
Stop me a minute. Stop me a minute, Mum.
All right, then, go on, blame me, then.
Nobody's blaming anybody.
Where's our Ken?
He's next door in Mr. Tatlock's.
He spends more time in old Daddy Tatlock's than he does in here.
You leave him alone. Mr. Tatlock's all right, Mr. Tatlock is.
Look, love, how can I say to that lad now, all right, Ken, you can go? He made me look a proper fool, and well, he won't think any better of me for it.
Well, suppose he goes whether or no. What sort of fool are you going to look then?
Well, that lad should learn to live in his own class. Silk ties, 16 shillings a time. That doesn't come out of his grant, and you can't tell me it does.
No, I'll tell you straight, it doesn't. I bought it for him, and he never asked me. I'm no martyr, Frank, much as you'd like to think it. I just want him to have the chance, and he's going to have the best chance I can give him.
We certainly raised a rum 'un.
It's no use asking you to take an interest in my collection. But if I didn't have these and the Choral Society, there'd be naught for me but to go down to that reading room with all the other old ruins. Hey, I was down changing my library book the other day and I popped in for a minute. Had to come out. Got up top of me. No, but snuffling and turning pages over. I felt like shouting out, get yourselves over here, you'll all be dead inside 12 months. Oh, Ken, have you seen these new labels of mine? Esther got them typed for me.
Yes, she told me.
You're very quiet.
Sorry, I was just thinking about something.
Something wrong?
No. Well, not really.
Is it anything to do with this business at the Imperial Hotel?
Well, who told you?
Your mother.
Bit of a mess, isn't it?
What are you going to do about it?
Well, I've got to go. There was a number to ring if I couldn't, but Susan's bound to have left by now.
Oh, that's her name then, eh? Susan?
Yes, Susan Cunningham.
I see. And is she a sort of special kind of friend?
No, not particularly. Just a girl who happens to be in my year.
I see. Well, of course, mark you, this is only an idea, but couldn't you go down into town and collect her and bring her back here? I think that'd please your mother.
No, it's no good. I couldn't.
Oh, well, you know best.
No, I just couldn't. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's just that... Well, Coronation Street.
Oh, what's wrong with Coronation Street? I've never heard you talking that way before.
Well, I never pretended to sue, or anybody for that matter, that I came from anywhere else, but... Well, I just don't fancy the idea of her actually seeing it.
Well, it has its good points. I mean, Tekina Sharples. Now, I reckon your friend would lap her up.
My place of worship is the Rover's Return, and I'll swap brown ale for me and book any day.
You see?
Oh, yeah, but it's all right talking about it, but I don't want her coming up here.
You know, I never thought the day had come when I'd have to say this, but I reckon that college has turned you into a proper stuck-up little snob, Kenneth Barlow.
Oh, that's not true.
Isn't it?
No, I just haven't explained myself properly. I mean...
Is that somebody at my back door?
So.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Ida. Come in, love.
Oh, Mr. Tatlock, is our Ken there?
Hi, come in.
Oh, thank you. Oh, there you are, love. There's a young lady come for you. It's that friend of yours, the one you were supposed to meet in town. That's Susan Cunningham.
Oh,
Oh, Mr. Tatlock.
No, I think that patch should be all right, big enough.
So.
Now, what we need now is a bit of French chalk rubbed on that, you
come
see.
in then, let me have that.
Now, be careful, be
So
careful.
anything I can do?
Oh, I have that a minute. So. That's all right. Here, our boss comes from round your place.
What's his name?
Ernie Parrin.
Ernest Perry.
Do you know him?
Do I not?
Shake. Oh, excuse the oil. I didn't have a chance to wash and my mum was doing pots.
Oh, whatever will you think of us? All this in the middle of the floor.
hello, Susan.
Hello, Ken.